circulate through YouTube. We at the end of the days of YouTube.
Yeah, con, true that.
The end of the world.
3 more days, really.
The end of
Is it 7?
the end of the world for YouTube.
3 more
Hey,
days. man.
5G is nationwide right now in America.
That's crazy that that's the topic though. Appearances could be deceiving because it appears that this place is going to prosper and live forever, right?
Facts.
But the fact is that this place is going to be destroyed.
Yeah,
You know?
I'm saying as a thief in the night.
As a thief in the night. I gotta grab. Hey, man,
Con,
let's do this, man. All right, so before we get started, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahawah.
Yahawah, BaHaSham, Yahawashi, BaHaSham, Qadash.
All right, we want to give double honors unto the apostles and elders of GreatMillStone, and shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel, consisting of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. All right, this is GMS Shoulders of Faith, GreatMillStone Soldiers of Faith, New Jersey camp. Coming with another sit down, another lesson through the spirit and power of BaHaSham, Yahawashi. The title of this lesson is going to be
Looks can be deceiving, or appearances can be deceiving.
appearances can be deceiving. Okay, and we just started off, through the spirit, the appearance of number one, Babylon the Great, appearing to be this great kingdom, that's going to dwell and live forever, carry on. But little do people know that this place is ultimately going to be destroyed. All right, ultimately through thermonuclear destruction.
Scripture for you format.
Yeah.
Revelations chapter 14 verses 15. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. And the ripe fruit, is the best fruit, man. If someone wants to look up ripe, that's when the watermelon that is fucking juiciest, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's when the orange is at its juiciest, man. That's when you want it.
Right.
And guess what? That is the time that America is at, man. It's at the time where the sins have reached unto the Most High, man. And it's at the time where this place is very due, okay, for the Lord to come and fuck this bitch up. What you got, bro?
Because that's what that sickle represents. You look at the sickle, it's a sharp threshing instrument, man. You look at a sickle and you think about the Grim Reaper, man. And that's what it is. When the time appointed when Esau's kingdom is set, all right, to be done away with, all right, that's when the Lord is going to come by and show his hands. Now, in the spirit of appearances being deceiving, I gotta bring this out. All right. Yep. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 2. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, right, then shall sudden destruction come upon them. Okay. So that's the appearances being deceiving. One of many examples that we're going to get into, man. This place is not going to live on forever, man. And that's where the big shock and awe is going to come in for you Edomites, all right, you so-called white people and you other nations that feel that you're dwelling in a place that's going to live on forever. Psalms the 49th chapter, man. Their inward thought is that their houses are going to continue forever, man. That's a lie of the American dream that these Edomites have sold you, man. All right, but it's all a dream, man. It's all a myth. That someday soon in the near future, man, is going to be made manifest as actually a nightmare, man. Okay, so it says for when.
Okay, bro, and that's why they make these different movies, man.
Right.
You think they making these movies to entertain you? They're really making these movies to entertain the elites, man. Because you got the high up elites, and then you got the owners of a fucking record label, man. Who you want to get signed on, you gotta come and please him. And then they got the owners of these different directors, man. And producers. If you want a movie role, you gotta please him. It's all order amongst Esau, man. So they're making these different movies to please the elites. Like for example, you got Elysium. Oh man, what if we could, go into a different planet and the elites live up here, and then we have the regular citizens live on Earth, man. Fuck out of here, man. These are the things that the so-called white man, plans out, man. You know, these movies are to show you their minds. You know, the scripture say the thoughts of every one of them are deep, man.
Right.
So they're trying to show you what's good. Hey, even what was that called? Black Summer, like last year. They trying to show you what's gonna happen unto this place, man.
And that's the appearance. Hey, that's the deception of the appearances that they try to make. They try to make it as it's some kind of TV show, as it's some kind of fiction. When you watch all these movies, all these TV shows, it's all about the end of the world.
Yeah.
It's all about chaos in the streets. It's about apocalypse. Every great major movie is some post-apocalyptic scene, man. You know, where the earth is already destroyed and people are trying to rise up from the ashes, man. You know, and that's because you Edomites, you know the scriptures are true, man. You know the prophecies. This isn't the good book, man. All right, this isn't the good book where everything has a happy ending, man. This is a book of lamentations, mourning, and woe, man. All right, and our people are soon going to realize that, you know, through the harsh realities. Okay, through the because what appearances can be deceiving, man. You know.
Also, too, going into appearances, you got these other Israelite groups out there that give our people a false appearance,
Right.
like some type of false hope or a sense of false hope. You know, and they got to get it too. They're being exposed too. So pretty much, GreatMillStone, eating the whole road, we're pretty much exposing every appearance, every wicked appearance. The scriptures say, abstain from all appearance of evil. If you could grab that, 1 Thessalonians 5 and
Right there.
and 17.
All right.
First and second
It
Thessalonians.
might be second Thessalonians.
That's second Thessalonians
5 and 17.
and 17, somewhere around there.
Yeah, con. That's
There's no second Thessalonians 5.
I'm gonna look it
It's
up.
first
I got you.
Yeah, First Thessalonians 5.
5.
That's pray without ceasing, I think.
Yeah,
It's right under there too. It's
Yeah,
right
so
under
right
there.
there, yep. Because you know, you got a lot of these Israelites, they're looking to be, their appearance to be flashy and you know, spectacular, you know what I'm saying? But that's why the prophets, they sit in sackcloth and ashes mourning. That's what
Right,
we do all day long. You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to be all, ooh, look who we are. Like, we don't do that, man. And if you know, you're going to hate us anyway. No matter how we say it, you're going to hate us. All right?
Yeah, I remember like 2 years ago, man. You know what I'm saying? Dude came out. I ain't gotta mention his name. Came out of the elevator with a golden golden garment on. And I'm just like, hey, you gonna be known as the dude. Yahawashi slapped you dead, man. It's an inside joke, man. You know, the Lord slapped you dead because you're a pride. Came out the elevator, man. You know what I'm saying? That's that look to be deceiving. You know, you got the women in your camp. You know what I'm saying? They up on stage. What can you offer this brother? Look, I got my own apartment. You know, I got my own, you know, car and shit. I got a nice job. You know what I'm saying? All that looks to be deceiving shit, man.
Hey, that's also a precept with probably to get later or down the line, wolves in sheep clothing.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, that's beautiful right there.
Because the appearance may not be what the Lord appearance is really the appearance that you in certain men is not what the Lord required. You know, it's more like, you know, I see he looked like a mighty warrior, I want to be like that. Instead of pushing the vibration of a brother seeking his word sincerity to be saved. You know?
Yeah.
Well,
I gotta read this real quick. This is 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 7. It says, "But the Lord said unto Samuel, Look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth." You see how man seeth? Man seeth people flashy garments, all right, flashing around a little bit of money. You know, they associate that with success. They associate that with godliness and edification. That's why all these guys have so many followers. The Comforter, okay? Nate. You know, we'll name names, man. We'll name names. We don't care. It's a bot, okay? All you got is General Yohana, all right? All these flashy characters, all right? Occultive personalities, as the apostle would beautifully put it. These occultive personalities out there that give this false sense of godliness, man.
John Hyrcanus the third now, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's all bubble eyes.
But that's John Hyrcanus III, bubble-eyed blackfish, you know, teaching people that Edomites can make it. Meanwhile, this is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. Okay, and mermaids and all that other bullshit, man. All right, but hey, that's according to what man's wisdom and man's own thinking. But what did the scripture say? Man's heart desperately wicked, man. Who can know?
You know, it's crazy. I actually had that precept.
That's what's up.
I had that precept too.
That's cool. Let me read this again.
Okay.
But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not upon his countenance or on the height of his stature,
Right.
because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth.
Hey, that's how you got people out here that become fans, and regardless of what that person they're idolizing, no matter if he do wrong, they still would be a fan.
Yeah.
You know, they would defend their idol. And you know, because a lot when you become a fan, you're actually idolizing, you're idol worshiping. You know, and that person will be wrong and do something wrong, but what you'll do, you'll stand by their side because you figure they could do no wrong. You know, that's your idol. You know, you don't want to get caught into that.
Yeah.
In this truth of ours, we out there, the brothers are sitting as you reading, you know, sincere men to teach the gospel. What you're supposed to fall in love with is the word which is being taught,
Right.
which is of Yahawashi. That's what you fall in love with. You know, the Lord could raise any one of us up and to teach his word. He could have you actually be administered from an actual tree if he had it that way.
Yeah.
A tree talking to you.
Right.
He did it with Moses. You know, he talked to him through a burning bush.
Yeah.
So then what, you idolize the tree and want to be a tree?
Yeah.
You know, the tree would just only give you the message. So you'll literally be listening to the tree going, oh, I understand. But when you see man corrupt things, you know, because of a glory, fame, you know, not really pushing away the old man, he pushed off this projection as if he that guy, he that dude.
Yeah.
You know, when the Lord has 144,000 men. But it starts with head, so obviously the Lord deals with the head, you know?
And it's more so spiritual. I remember the Apostle Gabar, he did a video this week. It's not about the word, like how a man speaks, but the power that's within him.
Yeah.
Going into Acts the 19th chapter, I said, Yahawashi I know, Paul I know, but who are you? You know, so it's, hey man, that's why what is it, the prayer that brother's always going through, Psalms 51, that's really a super heavy prayer, man.
Yeah.
Say it is, you could sound good, all right, but where's the spirit at within what you're saying, man?
Right,
Who's
right.
behind
There's
that
the power
what you're
behind
saying?
it, right.
Power
Right.
behind
Is
it.
Satan behind what you're saying?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And that goes behind the saying in the saying in the world behind it is bias, being biased. And in the scriptures they mention it as respecters of persons. You know, being a fan. And are you a fan of the individual person? Are you worshiping the creature or the creator?
Well,
Is
right.
where it comes down to.
Right.
You know? So that's according to man's wisdom. I'll read it again. It's 1 Samuel 16:7. But the Lord saith unto Samuel, look not upon the countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart, man.
Hey, and that's going into when they were looking with King David. You know, he was the keeper of the sheep, and basically they even overlooked him, man.
Yeah, he was the
You
younger brother.
You know,
Yeah.
all of the sons were brought before him, and that was not who the Lord chose.
Yeah.
You know, but the other dog, man, you know, the keeper of the sheep was King David, man, and that's who the Lord had set up to be king, man.
Yeah, and I believe in that story with his brothers, a lot of the older ones were looking more high of stature,
Right,
and
exactly.
had nice bodies, you know, face features, and he was a guy that tilled to the sheep.
He was ready.
The sheep.
They look at him like, this dude right here? This
Yeah.
guy right here?
And then he came down to the battlefield, and they was tight with King David about that. Like, what are you doing here, man? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how far. Hey, going back like the scriptures, brother always quote, man. Going behind all that that they have imagined, man. You know, as far as our salvation, man. They could have never expected King David to be that dude. And here it is. Then he said, "The Lord teaches his hands to war," and he was the one that slayed Goliath, and everybody else was like shook up, man.
Exactly.
And he slayed Goliath, he slayed Goliath off of his faith. You know, he said, I come not to you with my bow, my own strength, but I come to you in the name of the Lord, man. You know, and he caught a pop right in his fucking head, man.
Hey, that shows you the scripture where the Lord says he's with the man of a contrite heart.
Right.
You know,
Broken in the contract,
broken in
not the spot.
yeah, the Lord is with the lowly and the humble, because
Yeah.
that's who you least expect to have power. That's who least expect to see persevere, you know, to get through things. you know, and to stand out on top. The Most High ain't with what you think that is super duper mighty.
Right.
You know, he's with the feeble, the weak. Because if you're not feeble and weak, then what need of a healer? What need of Yahawashi to you?
Exactly.
You know?
Case in point, we could bring a biblical term and we could bring a worldly term. It says, look not upon the height of his stature. King Saul. King Saul was very tall man.
Taller than the
Looked
rest.
like he was something taller than the rest. But what? He was Mr. Can't Get Right. He just couldn't do what the Lord commanded him to do. And he didn't have the Holy Spirit with him, so the Lord took it away. A worldly example, Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
Okay, we just had Anthony Joshua and John Ruiz.
Andrew Ruiz.
Ruiz Jr.
Right.
All right, had their second fight, and you know this dude don't even want to even call out. Here it is. He's this big fellow, looked like he was carved out of a rock, looked like a Greek god,
Yeah.
and he don't even want to fight Deontay Wilder or even
Right.
get in the ring with Tyson Fury, man.
Yeah, with the other best.
With the other best of the fighters, man. You know, it's like that's an example of appearances being deceiving, man.
Hey,
You know,
and matter of fact, man, cause come to think about it, Saul was like a big teddy bear, man.
Mm.
He was one of the big brolic dudes, but on the inside, he was like kind of like bitch made, man.
that's true.
And I'll say that compare him to King David because you know I brought it out in camp that Saul was like so scary, man, of these other nations, of these Hamites coming down upon him that he literally did his own sacrifice, man.
Right.
Knowing goddamn well that was only for the Levites, man. Now, what would King David would have done in that situation? Because we know that he'd been in that situation of his enemies, you know what I'm saying, coming right on his trails. He would have just prayed to Yahawah, man.
That's right.
Saul didn't even pray. Like the brother Sharp lesson a while back. I'll never forget the title. You know, making permanent decisions off of temporary feelings, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly what Saul did. Instead of just praying, he went into panic mode, man. The scriptures say what? Haste not in the time of trouble, and be not afraid of sudden tears.
Right.
So here it is, Paul was this big brawly dude, taller than the rest, looking like he'll jack somebody the fuck up. But then, when his enemies came, he was, you know, super scary, man.
Yeah.
But King David, when his enemies came, he kept the faith, man.
Right.
Hey, that's why, like, you know, you go, like, I've been short all my life. I never liked the tall people. You know, tall people always got that advantage with everything, even with the girls. But you tell them, big things come in small packages. You know? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, yeah, that's definitely how it is. Looks can always be deceiving, you know what I'm saying? Because all people know is what they see, and they judge things off of what they see in the physical as opposed to being spiritual. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That precept is. Oh, you have something?
Nah, you bring it. You can say it.
First Maccabees 3:17. Who verse 15. So he made him ready to go up, and there went with him a mighty host of the ungodly to help him, and to be avenged of the children of Israel. Which actually, I'm gonna read the Slaki. I want to read the synopsis of this chapter. You know, to give brothers a better understanding. It says, the veiler and fame of Judas Maccabeus, he overthroweth the forces of Samaria and Syria. Antiochus sendeth a great power against him. He in his fall to fasting and prayer and are encouraged. Right? And going to first Maccabees 3:17, 15. So he made him ready to go up, and there went with him a mighty host of the ungodly to help him, and to be avenged of the children of Israel. And when he came to the going up to Beth Thoron, Judas went forth to meet him with a small company, who when they saw the host coming to meet him, said unto Judas, how shall we be able, being so few, to fight against so great a multitude and so strong, seeing we are ready to faint with fasting all this day? And to whom Judas answered, it is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a few.
Right.
And with the God of heaven, it is all one to deliver with a great multitude or a small company. For the victory of battle standeth not in the multitude of an host, but strength cometh from heaven.
Right.
And that's right. When you know, even when Elisha, you know, when the Syrians came after him, all right, because basically they were pissed off that Elisha told I want to say the king of Israel at the time, his plans or whatever. He came after him, and the Lord prayed into heaven, All right, and the Most High actually blinded the Assyrians, and Elisha led them away from him, man. You know, so here it is, strength coming from Yahawah, BaHaSham, Yahawashi, man. You know.
I got something to back up real quick on that. First Maccabees 4:4, I saw that. It says, while as yet the forces were dispersed from the camp, in the mean season came Gorgias by night into the camp of Judas. And when he found no man there, he sought them in the mountains, for he said, these fellows flee from us. But as soon as it was day, Judas showed himself in the plain with 3,000 men, who nevertheless had neither armor nor swords to their minds. Right? Verse 7. And they saw the camp of the heathen, that it was strong and well harnessed, and compassed round about with horsemen, and these were expert of war. Then Judas said to the men that were with him, fear ye not their multitude, neither be ye afraid of their assault. Right, so, straight off the jump, you know. Judas Maccabees was with men who says what? Who nevertheless had neither armor nor swords to their minds, man. Okay? Meaning they never, you know, they wasn't born and raised training up with the sword, man. You know? Because in the next verse it goes to tell you, at the end it says, their enemies are what? These were expert of war. So these were expert of war, right? They came up and they were trained up, you know, with the sword to go to war, man. So here it is. Their parents was like, yo, this is about to be easy pickings, man. You know, we was born for this shit, man. But guess what? Our parents can be deceiving, man. You know, and so many different avenues and aspects, man. So, you know, this scripture, man, really goes for us. Because it says in verse 9, remember how our fathers were delivered in the Red Sea when Pharaoh pursued them with an army. Now therefore let us cry unto heaven, and peradventure the Lord will have mercy upon us, and remember the covenant of our fathers, and destroy this host before our face this day. Right? It says that, so all the heathen may know that there is one who delivereth and saveth Israel. It says, then the strangers lifted up their eyes and saw them coming over against them, wherefore they went out of the camp to battle. But they that were with Judah sounded the trumpets, so they joined the battle, and the heathen, being discomfited, fled into the plain, man. So fuck out of here, man. These dudes were experts of war, and they got their fucking ass bust by men whose swords never even came to their mind, you know. And that's us, brothers, man. We're not no damn swords experts, man. You know, we don't go train every single day after camp, you know, on swords and shit like that. But Yahawashi is gonna put it within our spirit to be able to bust our asses, man, because that's Isaiah 59:19. You know, you're gonna have these fucking Gurga troops, man, you know, these stormtroopers come in thinking they're about to do some experts of war. And guess what? They're gonna be confounded by the men of the Lord, man, who didn't even have swords to their mind.
Hey, the scriptures say, bodily exercise profit little. It profiteth, but it profit little.
That's right.
You know, the Lord ain't make us to be warriors in the flesh, as far as, you know, being experts at martial arts and gun specialists and things like that, marksmen and things, because that's what the Spirit is going to do. That's of Yahawah, BaHaSham, Yahawashi. You know, He wants us to put our exercise and practice on our faith, man, and pushing His truth, battling the spirit, the mind, the conscience first. Once you master that, the Lord can just, you know, change your whole body, your whole structure with a whisper of thought, man. You know, that's more important.
This 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 44. And the Philistine said to David, come to me, and I will give thy flesh to the fowls of the air, and to the beasts of the field. Then said David to the Philistine, thou comest to me with sword and with spear, and with a shield. But I come to thee in the name of the Lord of hosts, the Lord, the power of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defiled. All right, going to show that, you know, shield and spear and the appearances of a great grand army, all right, isn't nothing comparison to the spirit and power of Yahawah Yahawashi. Another example in the book of Judges, where you had Gideon. Wasn't it Gideon, all right, who reduced his army from like 2,300, just so that the power of the Lord could be shown. You know, that it's not the physical army itself, but it's what? It's the power of the Lord, you know? Go ahead, bro. You got it.
Hey, somebody grab is it John 7 and 24, and
Alright.
yeah, too, cause like when you think about it, going back into what was it, the book of was it like Joshua or Judges, where the Lord numbered his people down to 300.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And went up, against that army of troops and just slaughtered them. You know, just to prove that it's not all about numbers, because obviously, the average person will see a bunch of numbers and think, oh yeah, they're going to have a victory. But the Lord don't work like that. The Lord can make great things happen out of very little, man. And that's what he does. And that's the majesty of the power of the Lord. And that's what he's going to be showing currently within this earth. Esau can have all of the technology in the world, but that's still not going to compare to what Yahawashi have, where he said, well, he could wipe out the whole place with a legion of angels. You know what I'm saying? So compare Esau's legions, he could have 100,000. All the Lord needs is like 5,000. It could take out this whole place. Man.
Which is like what's gonna happen. He gonna have the other nations, all of them gonna turn and stop fighting each other just to fight the Lord, and that's still not enough.
Exactly.
And they all, you got Russia, China doing drills where they're ready for this war against America and their allies, and they're training. You mean expert men? Them guys is bred soldiers since they was like 6, 7 years old. Sleeping out there in the cold in Russia, learning how to break down a gun in 2 seconds. Within them 60 seconds, a minute, and they can put the gun back together. They doing push-ups and calisthenics works and not eating, taking cold baths and showers. That's still the expert of men can't defeat Yahawashi Yahawashi.
All that shit
Not even
noise.
Yeah, calm. And that goes straight, man. We look, the Lord's gonna make us higher than all those guys, man. You gotta watch that show, Queen of the South, man. For brothers that watch that show, it's a Issacharite show. And you got a guy freaking, his name is Pote. Yeah, and he said, "This is what I was bred for." That's it. Whatever he said, man. His family literally trained him up to be like some fucking shoot 'em up, bang bang, Issacharite, so-called Mexican dude, man. And here it is, he's battling another dude who was a damn veteran, an army guy. And they both like supposed to be some two badass dudes, man, protecting, the damn queen, all right, of the damn cartel. And then they had a little battle they was going off with about who got the best aim, man, who was the better marksman. So here he's like bang bang, you know what I'm saying, shooting the glass. He's like, all right, you owe me, pay up. And then the dude who was in the military, he was like, you think you won? And then all of a sudden he did it even quicker than him, man. But that goes to show you every single nation is training up these dudes to be these super experts of war, man. But Yahawashi is training us the same way. We're gonna be over every single one of you motherfuckers, man.
And we're training in combat when we do our pistols and shows and sit downs, or we out there, like yesterday, teaching the word. That's our physical combat. That's our exercise, because everything else is just gonna be quickening. Real quick, not to switch the subject, but the brother on the page, GMS Quanawaf, he put Hebrews 13 and 2.
Shalom.
Shalom to the brothers on the comment board. It says, "Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels of in unawares."
Wow, we were just talking about that before the show.
Because why? Like the title is, appearances can be deceiving. You don't know if an angel come up to you, and he might add some of the scriptures, and what? Yeah, you probably say, speak the truth of the scriptures. You don't be deceived. He might come in the form of a bump. The Lord be testing you. You're gonna judge according to appearance.
Right.
Right.
Hey, that's why the men of the Lord, we got eyes to see. We read spirits. Hey, I'll tell you this, from my little experience being in the truth, I know that when you see these so-called crazy men out here teaching and talking crazy, I know that they really saying. Sometimes they be saying stuff that be on point with prophecy.
Yeah.
But somebody in the world, they go, that nigga's a nutcase.
And, bring that John 7:24.
This is John 7:24. It says, "Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment."
Exactly. So the Lord clearly telling you right there how to judge, not by appearance, but judge righteous judgment. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just like how brothers from that you can find somebody that seems like a bum or something like that, you might think they're crazy, but that's not actually the case. But matter of fact, they even show you that in the movies, right? When you see a guy holding up a sign or something, you know what I'm saying, and then all of a sudden he get some few people money, then he hop up, you know what I'm saying, he got on the suit and tie and hop in his Benz. I forgot what
that was
movie
drinking
Oh,
juice.
yeah.
Drinking juice, yeah.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? So you never know what it really could be. Or just like cops that play like undercover, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But the average person, like, you really gotta be able to see spiritually behind stuff. How are people able to get out of certain situations? Because they see certain things that are hidden in plain sight over other people can, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, going back a couple of years ago, you know, going back and forth with what's the IURC, you know, Nate was saying that we're the bum camp.
Yeah.
You know, he judging off of the appearance. You throwing that out there so that people could judge, because you know how people think. They be like, look at them, they ain't got nothing fancy. They all they all talking crazy. You know, look at them. You know, but then when you see a group when they all matching colors, they got some military type of order.
Yeah.
You know, you would say, well, they more in order.
Yeah.
Don't judge according to appearance, because guess what? The Lord is dealing with sincere men. He's not
right.
dealing with the outward appearance.
I
You
got
know?
some.
Hey, real quick, man, because it is me the bump camp, but, you know, well, first off, I'm sorry we're not getting that detective money, Nate, alright? You know? And second off, it is me the bump camp, but your right-hand man got, you know, was locked up for extortion, man,
Right.
you know? So fuck you, man.
Hey, his man's killed, don't forget. His
Oh,
man's
yeah?
killed that homosexual because he was a homo. He was caught in a hotel. And we just forgot about that. Then the sacrifice. Remember the sacrifice? The kid, the woman's
Oh, yeah?
son
Yeah,
Sure.
telling the cops to kill me.
Kajimi Powell.
Yeah.
Yup.
They had a lot of shit going on, man.
And then even this year in the UK, a IUIC girl was found in the fucking woods, man, murdered.
Mm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is Ecclesiasticus of Sirach, chapter 13, verse 23. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue. And look what he saith. They extol it to the clouds.
Mm.
But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this?
Mm.
And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. You know? Going to show that people are carnal and they only look at people through the outward appearance, man. They'll look at somebody that may appear to be a so-called bum or whatever. He's not in extravagant clothes. He doesn't jet set around the world. He doesn't have his own personal fancy car or big mansion or something like that. So when he speaks and talks about the Bible, people are like, man, who the hell are you? You know?
Hey, they done that to Yahawashi.
Yeah.
Remember Yahawashi said a man is how you say it, in his own city.
Oh, yeah.
Not without honor.
Now,
No.
without
Save
honor in
within
his own city, yeah? In
Right.
his own country.
Yeah. Hey, Jake do his shit all the time, because you can tell somebody in your family, you know, about a health issue. You be like, look, man, it's because of that pork you eating or whatever situation. And they be like, oh, yeah, I gotta lay back. But then as soon as they see it on TV with Dr. Oz, and Dr. Oz give a remedy, they be like, oh, I'm about to try that. I've been told you that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I got a precept. This is going back to what you were saying. Oh, that was it? Oh, you don't know.
No, that's still on there.
James chapter 2, verse 1. My brethren, have not the faith of our Lord Yahawashi, the Lord of glory. You had that up?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
He sure did.
You can break it down now. It says, my brethren, had not the faith of our Lord Yahawashi, the Lord of glory, with respect of persons. For if there come unto you your assembly a man with a gold ring and goodly apparel, and there come in also a poor man in vile raiment, and ye also have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing, and say unto him, sit thou here in a good place, and say to the poor, stand thou there, or sit here under my footstool.
Yeah, and that goes according to appearance again, you know. You see how you see somebody with a goodly apparel, you know, you treat them a certain kind of way, you know. But then you see somebody else with the vile raiment, you tell them to sit under thy footstool, you know. And that's really, how this, world really is set up, you know. Going back to how when they put the label on us as being the bump camp, you know, they put that label on us, you know, and people seeing that through the carnal eye, you know, and really, you know, didn't really listen to what we really had to say, you know. So you basically are just put in this certain box and just tuned out, you know.
And I got something real quick. Is
This is more than
oh, you have more?
Yeah, it's a little more than this.
Oh, more.
It says, "Are ye not then partial in yourselves, and are become judges of evil thoughts?"
yeah, well, yeah, that,
It says, "Hearken, my beloved brethren, have not God chosen the poor of this world rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom, which he hath promised to them that love him?"
So when you come across men, you know that these the men because they rich in faith. You know, they're selling you, or you know, like Paul said, we persuade men. So they're teaching and prophesizing and promoting faith. You know that, look, I can't save you, but the word could. The Yahawashi can. Get right. You know, that would be the best thing that would be the ones who you follow, man. You know, not following that bullshit, man. Because if not, then guess what? You're never going to put away the old man. This thing right now in this season, man, we're in a time of repentance. It's like John the Baptist all over again. You know, teaching the ways of salvation, teaching the ways of repentance, so that you can be cleansed of your wickedness, man. We all wicked. We all deserve, scripture say we all fall short of the glory of the Lord because we all sin. You know, we was Gentiles before we woke up to this truth, and now we're not Gentiles. All right, which that word Gentile, I seen the elders, the apostles, was going into it, starting their stream off today, and their camp today, and he went right into the word Gentile in the Designer Van Bible Dictionary, you know, because that Gentile can go two ways. Gentiles, all right, can originally mean a non-Israelite people, all right. That's the other nations who the Lord never chose. But guess what? The Israelites were also called Gentiles, all right, from the falling away, man. You know.
I got some. This is 2 Corinthians.
A little more.
Okay,
Up.
sorry.
It says, "Hearken, my beloved brethren, have not God chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom, which he hath promised to them that love him?"
Hey, and the scriptures talk about the meek shall inherit the earth, man.
Right.
You know, the Lord is always dealing with the underdog, man. You know, time and time again, we go through the scriptures, man. You know.
Hey, look at 300. I mean, they had a mighty slaughtering, man. Their little reign at 300, man. They was killing Spartans. You know, they was fucking them up, and you know the Lord having fun with them. You know, they didn't take over Rome or anything like that, but they did a lot of damage. That's the Lord having fun with them Edomites, man. You know, and showing power within the less few men. You know.
Yeah, the riches that when you the spirit, the brother had sent me that list about the martyrs.
The martyrs.
Yeah, man, here it is. They had the truth. The truth is priceless. You know what I'm saying? They had the most riches in the world. As a matter of fact, the Lord told them, he actually confirmed to them that they would be, Lord said that, yeah, follow me in the regeneration. I will set you amongst the thrones. So here it is. The Most High is going to set them as the pillars of the earth, all right, in which they would rule forever. You know what I'm saying? But in this present life, they were martyrs, man. They looked as a poor, you know, as scum. John the Baptist
I was
himself.
about to just mention that too when the brother brought it up. John the Baptist had camels.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And hey, as far as
the
as far as the mortars, man, you know, it is even when you check out Stephen, he was alright with his lot, man. You know, when they stoned him, he said, "Hey, I see the Father and the Son on his right hand in the heavens, man." And then they stoned him even more, and he got put to death, man. You know, they was alright with their lot, man. You know, I believe through the Spirit, because here they saw all the miracles that Yahawashi was doing, and they knew for a fact, man. You know, like some say, give 2 diligence when you're cold and let you sure. Like they were sure, and also you gotta be sure on this truth. They were sure, man, that Yahawashi, you know, was the Son of the Most High, man. So, hey, they was alright with that, man. The scripture say, knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy times, man. So they were stable when that was going down, man.
They actually rejoiced to suffer.
Oh yeah,
They liked it. They rejoiced. Like, okay, no problem. You want to murder us? Go right ahead.
And one thing when you made mention about John the Baptist and he wore camel's hair on himself and ate locusts and honey, he was living out in the wild. You know, he was out there, so he wasn't living, you know, under the house where mostly the Israelites would probably sojourn. You know, and they had a certain custom, you know, wash yourself clean. He was more rough looking, but they said he had a leather belt and you know, he was more rough looking. And think about it. Imagine his hygiene. You know, if you out sleeping, you know, in the wild, and then you got Jake that within the community, you know, they're a lot more smell, clean, good, you know, carry themselves a little more up than John was. John was more wild, you know. So imagine if you was next to him, he might have smelled a little funk, you know. But just showed you the appearance, man. But they believed in John the Baptist through the spirit of Yahawah, you know.
I think there was actually a couple individuals that said that about Apostle Tahar from another camp, where they met up with him real quick and then they were talking crap about him. Be like, well, you know, he's cool and everything. You know, he smelled a little funny, things like that. You know, trying to just show him reverence and then diss him at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, that just goes to show that, you know, some people just don't have the spirit on them, man.
Right.
And like another example of the appearance. Now, this that's the spirit that you mentioned. That this is Saint Matthew, chapter 11. I'll start at 6 real quick. And blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me. And as they departed, Yahawashi began to say unto the multitudes concerning John, what went ye out to see? What went ye out into the wilderness to see? A reed shaken in the wind? You know, some punk, some skinny little, like the depiction that they have of so-called Jesus Christ now, man. You know, it's this long, stringy, dog-haired, sissy,
Mama's boy,
all forgiving, nice, and loving faggot, man.
Yeah.
You know, Osalaki. You know,
It's all good.
alphabet gang member, man.
Right.
You know,
Or call him moves.
H-move. You know, it says verse 8. But what went he out for to see? But what went he out for to see? A man clothed in soft raiment, you know, some guy in a suit and tie, you know what I mean, or not even in a suit and tie, some guy in Yasharala, man, with a nice flashy garment, you know, cool looking attire, because you can't front, man. You know, guys like IUIC, guys like Zabak, man, those garments look fresh as hell, man. You can't lie. You ain't gonna front and be like, y'all don't look good. I'm just saying, we ain't in that season right now, man. Where the outward appearance is all. We ain't in the kingdom of heaven where we gonna be dressing like that, man. We in Esau's kingdom, man.
Hey, man, you asked me all that shit looks stupid.
Yo, you asked me the
brothers got their own opinions. Some of y'all brothers be looking good in them garments, man. It's all good, man. You know, you look fresh with the armbands, and it looks good. That's why we got so many followers.
Yeah, because that's Jake. That's Jake. You know, Jake fly like that.
Jake got style.
You know, but I just wanted to say, even Elijah, he was in caves, man. You know, he was outside the city, man, and he was in a cave, like, you know, and he was only coming to the city until the Lord told him to go speak to Israel. You know, so imagine how he lives or how he looked. Well, you know, imagine if you're not living amongst Jake, and then you come around Jake, and they're gonna be like, what the hell is wrong with him? Man, why he ain't get a better garment? You know, what the hell? They ain't smell. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you're not supposed to judge according to appearance, man. Appearances can be deceiving.
Verse 8, what went ye out for to see? A man clothed in soft raiment? Behold, they that wear soft clothing are in kings' houses. Okay? But what went ye out for to see? A prophet? Yea, I say unto you, a more and more than a prophet. For this is he whom it is written, behold, I send my messenger before thy face. So here it is, you counting somebody is looking like a bum. He's not somebody that that is of the world, all right, so to speak, that you're used to seeing. You know? Right, exactly. Here it is, you're gonna cast down his words of what he's saying, but here it is, these are the words that of Yahawashi, whom the Lord is actually dealing with, man. You know?
It's brother, if I could add, because even in Matthew 16, it says that I'm not going to show you anything else. No, if you can't receive this man, that's your ass. Basically, that's what Yahawashi said, man.
Yeah.
He said, basically look for a sign, but the only sign you're going to receive is John the prophet.
That's the spirit. Yeah, and what's a sign? It's something that's big out there. It's displayed. And the Lord made himself of no reputation.
And he came walking. They tried to put him on a horse. He said, "Give me his donkey."
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Hey, they said they called him a gluttonous and a wine bibber. So imagine his mannerism. You know, it wasn't of the mannerism of class that Israel had within their community, within their city. He was at the table and amongst people, they saw him grab, eat, get seconds. He might, I'm not trying to add, but you know, just extrapolate, he might have spilled wine upon his garment and things like that. Yeah, they're like, damn, look at him, why he eating like that? Look at him like he's starving. Look at him. And then he was hanging around the publicans and sinners. He was hanging around so-called criminal men, low men, you know, despised men. Quick precept, this is 2 Corinthians 10 and 10. This is about Paul. It says, for his letters say they are weighty and powerful, but his bodily presence is weak and his speech contemptible. And a contemptible, his speech, it means what? You look it up, it's despicable. You know, they say that our speech is despicable. Look how they talk about the black woman. You know, and that's the speech. But the point is Paul's bodily presence. It was weak. You would read his letters and think that he was some mighty warrior.
Debo.
Yeah, you know, like he'd beat your ass up, you know. But then when they saw him, it was like, oh, that's Paul. You know, no telling he could, you know, could be skinny or, you know, bodily walk a certain way, you know. It was a weak bodily presence, you know. Obviously, he wasn't that strong-looking statue, you know.
Right.
Well, in the Greek, I believe Paul means Paulus. Paulus? Paulo, meaning small.
Damn, he's a small man, so he was short. He probably short.
It's significant, I think that's what it meant, or it's something like that.
Hey, think about that, man. What they show you in some of the movies. You know, here it is. They'll never show you the boss. And you know, in old movies, it was like this. They'll never show you the boss that's running the show. Then when you finally see the boss, and then he be in that chair, and then when he turn around in the chair, he be short as hell. He be like,
I was about to say that.
Great things come in small packages.
They had that in Martin. Mad Dog no good, man.
Hey, the Wizard of Oz, man.
Yeah.
The Wizard of Oz, man. You know, you have this big, terrifying entity behind the microphone, but you pull that curtain back. Hey, that's what's happening to Esau, man. You know, that's another going into appearances are deceiving, man. Here it is. Esau portrays himself to be this big, mighty character. But what does it say? That the Lord is going to peel back the curtain, man, pull back the veil, you know? And then you're going to see this weak, little, feeble,
Pink bitch.
face, pink little bitch behind the microphone, man.
But real quick, I want to get into that word contemptible, and it's despicable, detestable, hateful, loathsome. Let's see.
Hey, don't they say GreatMillStone is the lowest among all the camps?
Low, shabby, worthless, petty, degenerate.
They call us what? They call us GMS. You know, mess.
Yeah, hot mess.
Yeah, hot mess. Yeah.
Nice one.
Hey, and like I said, and hey, man, the Lord gave Paul a heavy portion, man. You know, and when you talk about his appearance, man, hey, look at who the Lord's dealing with through the Spirit, man. You know, okay.
Hey, another thing too, just got to throw out there. Paul did not contradict Yahawashi. He did not contradict the scriptures, nor was he against Yahawashi, man. You know, Paul spoke. You know, Paul gave us. You know, he, like you said, Paul had a heavy portion of Yahawashi, man. And that's why you see a lot of his writings in the New Testament. You know, he was rebuking, reproving, he was exhorting the name of the Lord, you know, and his works and the things that he was actually teaching us for today was the small little situations that we go through today, man. That stuff is needed, man. Because guess what? Everything that Paul was going through under the Roman Empire is the same thing as we going through. Because he's dealt with what? Gentiles. We became Gentiles, man. You know, certain little situations that seem small, but it's huge because it's a battle upon your conscience and faith in the spirit. You gotta, you know, you don't want your conscience to be snared, you know, into where you shaking in the faith and you don't know, you're beating yourself up about being a man of the Lord because you done this. Hey, Paul gave brothers confidence, and also he increased brothers' faith by the examples that he put out there. That's real talk, man. Paul never contradicted himself. He was actually taught by Yahawashi.
He's a servant of Yahawashi.
Yeah.
This is Romans chapter 1, verse 1. Paul, a servant of Yahawashi HaMashiach, called to be an apostle, separated unto the gospel of the Most High. He was a follower of Yahawashi, man. You know?
He was a light to go into the Gentiles, man.
That's right.
You know, it's that Acts 9, I think.
9:15.
Yeah.
And those Gentiles are, hey, appearances could be deceived. Those Gentiles were Israelites, all right, scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Hey, appearances could be deceiving, man. Confusions of faces, man. All right. Speckled bird, man. Hey, but see, the confusion, when you go to confusion, the word is actually shame. And shamefaced. Because what? It's a shame to look like an Edomite, because what? The curse of leprosy is a shame.
Right.
You know? But really, yeah, you know, it's the speckled bird, man. Here it is, you got somebody that looks like an Edomite, a Moabite, which is so-called white man, Chinese, Japanese, so on and so forth. But their spirit could actually lead them, could actually link them to being an Israelite. You know, their seed line through their father could go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. The seed.
Because yeah, that's Miriam, man. You know, to show you how much of a shame it was to be to have leprosy. Numbers the 12th chapter, starting at the 10th verse. You know, Miriam became leprous, man. Why? Because she was talking shit against Moses, man. And here it is, Moses and Aaron was begging the Lord, like, oh shit, please, you know, please reverse this, man. You know, upon my sister Miriam. Because it was a huge shame to be leprous, man. But we're in America, almost 2020, and hell, even unclean leprosy, man, which is half dark skin, half
Albino.
yeah, half albino, all mixed and shit. They could be models here in America, man.
Hey, it's held in high standards, man. It's actually held in beauty. You know, they call it beauty. There was a ugly ass I can't think of this woman's name. It was as ugly as I think it was a Jake or whatever, or a Hamite, but it was disfigured. It was albino, and they had it as if this is the new beauty of 2019. I said, what? This is fucking wickedness. You know, wickedness is not beauty. That goes to Isaiah the 5th chapter. They call evil good, good evil.
Right.
That just proves that we're living in a evil time. We're living in the end of Esau, man. You know.
If I may go back into America, unless brothers have something else.
Yeah, real quick, just put the approximate that just made me think of, you know, the tares in the wheat. You know what I'm saying? As far as what, you know, the enemy was Esau, you know what I'm saying, coming and planting his seed amongst us. And, you know, the Lord pretty much saying, like, don't try to separate the tares from the wheat unless, you know what I'm saying, you get up a piece of wheat with
Right.
the tares. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, that's why, and then, you know, we make our judgments according to the spirit, which is righteous. Ultimately, it's the angels that's going to do all that separating
Right.
when that time comes, you know?
Hey, that's where Zabak go wrong at. If everybody was followers of Zabak, you know, then there would be no speckles and the truth being able to speak. You know, there would be no shame-faced men, you know, because of their complexion and because of their skin texture or whatever you call it, you know, and you know, they wouldn't be able to come in. You know, they wouldn't be able to teach. You are actually messing with their faith. You know, now, you know, got a nigga saying that the northern kingdom is not Israelites. You're messing with their faith.
Scattering the sheep.
Yeah, you're scattering the sheep when the Lord doesn't gather the sheep. You know, you that damn wolf that's coming when you think the sheep, you think the shepherd is actually asleep. You know, and then the wolf come at night and he see the sheep and he's trying to, you know, get one of them and they all just start breaking out running. After you done gathered them and did that hard work, what you gonna do to that sheep? You gonna wake up and you gonna blow that fucking wolf. What you gonna do to that wolf? You gonna wake up and you gonna strangle the fuck out the wolf. You gonna kill him. Get that wolf the fuck up out of here after the hard work you did and you traveling with sheep trying to get to your destination. But we do it through the word of the Lord, man, you know? Just, you know.
This is Acts chapter 15, verse 19. Wherefore my sentence is that we trouble not them which from among the Gentiles, Israelite foreigners, are turned unto Yahawah, BaHaSham, Yahawashi. Alright, and that's what these other camps do. He looked like this, we can't accept him. Zabak, like, he looks like a Hamite, we can't accept him. He looks like this, we can't accept him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a group, that's a Moabite, we can't accept them. They don't even try their spirits.
Mm-hmm.
That's laziness, not even to try somebody's spirit. That's lazy as hell. Can't even do that.
That's because they ain't got the spiritual eye to do it.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Yeah, and they even Bach come in. One time they had a ham up there. They talking about call him ham and cheese. Ham and, you know.
Hey, there was a Moabite lookalike, Israelite. You know, I think he was up there as Zabah. He said, "Get your," you know, he called him chink, this one. You know, and I think he was sincere with his questions and shit.
That's like saying, fucking Michael Blackson is a fucking,
Yeah, yeah, you gonna turn Michael Blackson into Hamite?
Or what about Nas?
Nas.
Is Nas an exception because he got dope rounds?
That's true.
Yeah, Cardi B, related, to those who believe so-called Hispanics and Israelites. Have you listened to Cardi B? Have you fucking seen Cardi B? That girl's a goddamn nigga woman, man. Of the northern kingdom, man. You know, what about Dave East, man? That dude is a nigga. His pops is Dominican. But does he get an exception? You know, because he's cool, because he makes
He
good
got
music.
braids and shit.
You know, because he's got braids and he wears Timbs and shit, man.
China
Tattoos.
Mac? About China Mac?
That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
That's
China
all-
Mac,
that's
yeah.
all- exactly what I was about to say. China Mac.
China Mac.
That's
He's
a nigga
a
right
nigga
there.
all the way through.
Oh,
China Mac is a
That's
goddamn
Judo.
nigga.
Hold up.
Yeah, he's
Matter of
definitely.
fact, you press China
Sound
Mac.
everything.
You pressing somebody about Asian jokes, man.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. He says it's offensive.
Yeah, come. So, I got Revelation chapter 14 verses go back to verse 15, man, because another look that's deceiving is how our brothers start off. How America, you think that it's going to continue forever.
Right.
Here this 5G is officially here. As far as today's the 7th, yesterday, if you got T-Mobile, you got 5G now, man. You know, nationwide. So you would think that big things is coming here to America. You know, you think that America ain't going nowhere. Trump just, what he spent? 20 million in submarine defense systems, man. Whoa, nobody can fuck with America, huh? You know what I'm saying?
Billion or some shit.
Yeah, 20 billion in defense systems, man. Here it is, he's penny pinching now. You know, those that was getting food stamps, who didn't have kids and wasn't working, you know, hey, they first off the list. They out of there, man.
Yeah, because Trump, what is it? What is he? Republican, which believes, that you should work. And now, he basically is gonna cut food stamps, so a lot of people gonna lose it because he wants them to actually work. Hey, Jake done got around for years, man. Here it is. You ain't working, but then at the end of the year, you collecting the income tax. Because you got 4 or 5 kids and you get back. Word is born, yo. You got like what, 3 kids? You on welfare and shit. Then you go file taxes. You getting back like 8, 9.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you work, you only get fucking 2.
People say they ain't even getting back that much no more. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They need to do away with that, do away with child support, leave these bitches defenseless out this motherfucker.
Hey, and that's what's happening over there. That's what happened over there in France now, because here it is, just like in Nicaragua, what's happening now is that they're taking these people pensions, and the people that happen to work, they're making them work a lot longer, man. So here it is. Imagine working for a job for 40 fucking years, all right? Besides the tax and everything else they're taking out of your check, you putting $200 out, every 2 weeks towards your 401k because you want to you want to be good when you retire. So imagine, how people gonna feel when they find out that there's nothing in their retirement, man, because all that shit is backed by the stock market. All right, and once more people leave the, this petrodollar, that means the stock market ain't gonna be nothing, man.
Hey, that's why Esau wants to start chipping these people, man. Here it is. They say, I forgot the numbers, man. I think like 40% takes care of the 60% of America. As far as working, maybe even less than that. Like 40% is the working class, like 60% is elderly, children. Dudes that don't have jobs and shit like that, man. But here it is. America wants to come and chip everybody so that he can have more control of everything, man. Of the immigrants that's here, they're considered useless eaters, man, because they're getting paid under the table. All these different restaurants and different companies are using cash, man. That's why the IRS comes and visits these different companies and they have to get in trouble. But when Esau places the chip, it's gonna be no under the table no more, man. This new generation ain't gonna know what under the table means, man.
Yeah.
Because cash is gonna be done away with, man. Esau's gonna be able to have more control. That's what this goddamn devil wants, man. More control. So if I continue, man, it says, and another angel came, Revelations 14:15, and another angel came out of the temple crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in the sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. And another angel came out of the temple, which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle, and another angel came from the altar, which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, Thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe, man. And verse 19 says, And the angel thrust in thy sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of the Most High, man. And that's you effing Edomites, man.
Right.
That's why Isaiah 63, man.
Yep.
Why is your garments dyed in red, man? He said he comes as let me just grab it so I don't butcher it, man.
Yep. He's gonna trod you Edomites in his anger, man. And the Edomites have these plans of going out into space in 2035.
You know what Elon Musk said, right?
Oh, what did he say?
He said he got things, 2 sons. He wants to put one son on one side of Mars and the other son on the other side of Mars. And there's a word that they use in the video called simulation, which means somebody that pretends to be a pretender.
Yeah. And you Edomites are
That's part of the
pretenders.
video.
Yeah, you Edomites are pretenders anyway.
Delusion.
Yeah.
Delusion.
Hey,
It goes into it.
Hey,
I'll look it up.
Well, that's
Delusion.
that's an upgrade. That's an upgraded idea that Elon Musk had anyway, because his idea before that was to shoot Mars with nuclear missiles so that he could change the climate of the atmosphere of the planet, man.
Yeah.
You Edomites are crazy, man.
This is what the word simulation in that video is: a false show, false profession, and imitating hypocrisy. False show, imitate, meaning of model or mock up. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So pretty much.
That's like when they want to actually put something out there, but they make a simulation of it first, just
Right.
to see how it goes before they put out the actual real thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like a hologram.
Yeah.
X-Men do that shit. Like you watch X-Men and you be seeing the X-Men train and then they come up out the stimulation and then they actually go to fight and shit.
Yeah, but that's even with that, it's like, all right, you might throw a test out there, it don't work, and then you still try it anyway, like as if it's gonna work now that
Right.
you tried it yourself.
Right.
Here it is, the Lord is showing you that it's not gonna work, but you still trying it. That shows you the part of Esau.
Yo, the Lord is telling you in the scriptures that it's not going to work. This is Job 5 and 12.
Yep.
He disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
Right.
It's not going to work.
Right.
No
Hey,
matter how smart you guys make yourselves look out to be, the appearances of your IQ score and whatever pseudoscience witchcraft that you have crafted up, you're not like Shar said. Shar's always here spiritually, man. Your arms aren't long enough to box with God, man.
Right.
All right. You're not gonna perform. You're not gonna upset the prophecies. The more you try to upset the prophecies, the more you fulfill them.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, Job 14 says the boundary that they can't pass.
Right.
You're not gonna get out of the earth. You're dirt and ashes. You're not making it out of earth to dwell on another Lord's mansion.
They can't even govern this earth right, but they want to go somewhere else.
Right.
That
They,
don't make no sense.
they can't even get this land of Babylon right.
All right.
Dude, everything is miserable, man.
Yeah.
Don't you understand that, Esau? Everything is fucking miserable, bro.
Yeah,
Anything that
yeah.
you could bring to imagination, man. The trees are miserable, man. The fucking air. You're spraying chemtrails in the air. Your ass ain't going nowhere. Proverbs 29:2. When the earth is in the when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Right.
When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, man.
Yep.
So the people are mourning, bro. Everybody is mourning. The women don't know if they coming or going, man. They don't know what to do.
Man, these people don't even know who they are. They don't even know who they are today. They can't tell if they're male or female. It's ridiculous. They don't know what they are. They don't know if they're dog, cat, bear, lion. They don't know what they are. That's how confusing this place is.
Hey, then you say they had it to where I think in New York you don't have to put your gender, you can just put X.
Yeah, that was DC.
That's undefined. X
Yeah.
means undefined. When you
Yeah.
go into math, X is undefined.
It's crazy, sickening, man.
And that's why, the scripture I brought out Revelation, man. The earth is ready, is right, man. This place is ready to be taken the fuck out, man.
Right.
How much more wicked can this place get, man? Here it is, next year, the next school year. So when,
Oh yeah.
here it is, they're about to go on Christmas vacation, man, bullshit vacation. And then they're gonna go on spring break, right? Then it's gonna be summer. And then when the school starts again, guess what? mandatory LGBT in history class
Yep.
in the states of New Jersey, California, Michigan, and Illinois, man.
So
It's 4 states.
So expect half of the season of the school year, you know, when you doing your driver's ed, prepare to when you get into the kids get into they sexual, what is it, driver's ed and what they call that shit?
Oh.
Sex ed.
Sex ed.
Yeah.
Sex ed is gonna be taught of homosexuality.
That's ridiculous.
By none other than Big Gay Al, man.
Or what they gonna do? What they gonna do? Make a history book and then bring out books. You know how when it started and what they went through, like black, like so-called black folks, the minorities, Hispanics, they didn't go through shit.
Meanwhile, they don't even teach
Slavery no more.
to kids that 12 and 18 years old.
Oh,
we had a young man walk by the camp today, and the brother through the spirit asked him, "Do you know how your people even wound up in the Americas?" And he said, "No, man.
Yeah.
They ain't teaching about slavery no more." So anyway, this place is going down. Anybody got anything else?
Yeah. And,
But
and,
really, sorry, but
no, I was gonna say, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
hey, but then, the same, little whippersnapper that I freaking asked, do you think he even cares, man? You think that's even on his thoughts? How the so-called Negro got to America? That's why that's why this place is right, man. To thrust through.
They
You
go
know?
straight to McDonald's.
This place is, hey, you got a goddamn McDonald's, man. You came out with the McDonald's bag, man. So here it is, man. That's why this place is right to get thrust through. We the last, this is the last generation, man. 90s babies, man. After that, that's it, bro.
Yeah.
I'm lucky enough for us to be taught, slavery in school. After that,
Right.
they don't even give a fuck how we got here to America. That's probably what he really wanted to say.
And if they ask, they say you volunteered.
Yeah, oh yeah, indentured servants,
Yeah.
man. We got paid for it,
Yeah.
man.
Hey, so the thing is, like the title is, man, don't judge appearances can be deceiving. This truth, eat the truth, man. Paul said, have thou faith, have it to thyself first before the Most High. You coming into this truth and learning that you're a Hebrew Israelite, the step is now, how do I cleanse my ways? How can I get the Lord to cleanse my ways? How is it that I can see salvation? What do I have to do? Keep continuing to learn and performing, rehearsing the holy days, man. Having faith, building upon your faith. Don't join this truth just because you want to be a part of something. Because guess what? You're gonna die, man. Yeah, this truth either brings forth life or death.
That's right.
That's it, man. Nothing in between.
Oh, I got a scripture real quick for that, man. 2 Corinthians. Nah, fuck all that. 2 Corinthians chapter 3 verses 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 14 says, "Now thanks be unto the Most High, which always causeth us to triumph in the Mashiach, and maketh manifest the savor of his knowledge by us in every place. For we are unto the Most High a sweet Savior of Mashiach, and them that are saved, and them that are perished."
Yeah, man, because we really the last, like the brother said, we the last of the dying breed, man. Yahawashi said it himself, "I'm the way, the truth, and the life."
Right.
So here it is, where everybody else is dying out or is fake. We're telling you what it is, man. While Esau can hide the history of what he really did, which shows who he is, we're telling you who he is, man. All right, and we're telling you that Yahawashi is about to save us out of this, man.
Hey, the Lord also said too, no man can get to the Father but by me.
Last verse, it says, "To the one we are a sweet Savior of death unto death, and to the other the Savior of life unto life. And whoso is sufficient for these things, man."
So little old us, man. Little old us, man. The ones with the sackcloths and
The Bumalites.
Yatazak said, short, probably chubby,
Yeah.
silly. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, how they look, man.
Yeah.
We the ones that really got the juice, man.
Right. Got the riches.
Got the riches, man.
Right.
We got the blood of Yahawashi on us, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You wanna end it up?
All right. So everybody good. All right. So with that, all right. Lord willing, is edifying. All right. Don't be fooled by the appearances, man. So with that, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory
To
Yahawah, BaHaSham, Yahawashi, BaHaSham, Qadash.
Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GreatMillStone, who were well and taught us his truth. Peace and salutations to the elect, the nation of Israel, consisting of Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Stay strong in the faith. Keep pushing his word. All right. Shalom to the elect.
Shalom.
Hey, shalom to you brothers on the comment board too, man. Shalom. Tune in.